Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you all so much for watching. I am the political radio show host, Niko House. I'm also an independent journalist. I have, obviously, my YouTube channel that you're watching right now. I do live streams on Facebook. I write articles for Medium, and I am a social media personality, I guess. At least that's what some people call me. Now, many of you are watching this video because, well, you want to become an independent journalist. You're thinking about becoming an independent journalist, and you're not quite sure how to pursue that passion. Well, I first have to ask if you're ready for such a responsibility, because it's not easy. And anybody who tells you it's easy is a liar. And I don't mean the work is hard, I mean dealing with people is hard. Everything you say is going to be challenged by somebody. And I know it sounds easy to deal with as I'm saying it, but once you have inbox messages of everyone telling you how to do your job all of a sudden, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But also, are you passionate? Are you passionate about the things that you're discussing? Or is this just kind of a hobby for you? Because that will greatly influence how much of an impact you can have on someone else. Because I would say that people can tell pretty quickly if you're actually passionate about the topics that you're discussing, or if you just, you're talking to be talking because you want to be in front of a camera. The first thing, there's 5 easy steps, right? 5 easy steps to becoming an independent journalist. The first thing, a lot of people seem to think that you have to have like a super nice camera, this crazy setup with all kinds of speakers and boom mics and a digital SLR camera or a Canon. You don't need all that. Do you have a phone? You have a phone, people? If you have a phone, you're already past your first step. And what I mean by that is the first step is getting started. Stop finding excuses for you not to become a journalist. If this is something that you're passionate about, then do it. You have a phone, and usually that means you have headphones. When I first started, people, all I had was my iPhone 6, and that was it. And my passion, which was creating political awareness. And I'm here now. Now I have better equipment. Now I have a nice microphone. Now I have a nice computer that I've upgraded thanks to, doing well in my field. Now I have a nicer desk, tripods and all the good stuff. I'm not even close to where I want to be at, but that's not what you need to be successful as a political journalist, people. You need to utilize what you already have, which, if you're watching me right now, you either have an iPhone or an Android phone that does pretty good, and you also have a computer that you could use if you're watching this. So you're watching for one of it. So if you are watching me right now, you already have what you need. That's the moral of the story. You already have what you need. So go ahead, get started. If that's what's stopping you, that's the wrong thing. The equipment is only as important as the journalist who is using it. If you want to rely on, amazing quality, but you have nothing substantive to say, then you might as well go ahead and not waste money on the equipment. Because all the quality in the world is not going to make you a popular independent journalist. Which brings me to my second step. The second step is be you. I know it sounds simple enough, but believe it or not, it's not. People think that they have to go to journalism school. People think that they have to talk like Anderson Cooper, Wolf Blitzer, Rachel Maddow. No, they're going to you because you're an independent journalist, which means you have a very unique take, or you're supposed to have a very unique take on whatever's happening on your side of the political spectrum. For example, I am personally, by the way, this has nothing to do, this video is nonpartisan. This is for whatever side of the political fence you want to become a journalist on. It's perfectly fine with me. But this is a nonpartisan video, but I am progressive. And my take, however, is essentially exposing corruption on both sides and bringing people closer together by helping them understand that political parties in general pretty much have basically the same goals at the end of the day. And usually both of them are not honest, and that we have to expose corruption on both sides. And that's my thing. So whether that be a Democrat or Republican, I give the facts based off of the information available and what I know. So for you, that could be something else. If you're conservative, it could, some people try to, they defend Trump and bring in unique facts on that side. If you're a liberal or a progressive, some people talk about policies and how those policies could positively affect, both sides. I mean, it could be anything, but one thing you have to do, no matter what, is be yourself. Don't get an article and just read and sound like blah, 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 because that's what they could watch CNN for. Okay, they can watch CNN for that. They don't come to you for that. They come to you because they like you and your unique take. So that's the second step. The third step, read. Read, 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 and read some more. The reason why I say that is because you don't have to be the most well-spoken, okay? You don't have to be the most intelligent either to become a political journalist. Trust me on this one, okay? We have a guy, I'm not gonna say any names, Alex Jones, who thinks that like there's a man-bear pig running around somewhere, okay? So, like I said, being an independent journalist, you don't have to necessarily be smart, but you do have to know what you're talking about. You can make mistakes. Trust me, I make them all the time, It's fine, as long as you can admit when you made a mistake. But if you don't have background information, if you don't have background facts, if you don't understand how we got to a particular discussion, then it's going to be very, very difficult for you to prosper in the long run, because you'll get exposed. Because what happens if, like for example, we had the FISA memo come out recently. Some people think that it's a fake memo, some people are not fake, that it's a distraction. Some people think that it's legitimate and it should be something that's considered. But how can you, as a journalist, have a substantive conversation about the memo if you don't even understand how we got to the point where Carter Page was even asked to be under surveillance and the pretense of that. So that's important for you to be able to read and go back to see how we got to that point. And that's something you can't just say one day, okay, I want to read, and you read a couple of articles and say, okay, I understand it, because you can't do that. This is a 24-hour job. It's not easy. So it's a full-time job, even if it's a part-time job. When I was working my full-time job, the job that paid my bills, I was at work reading whenever I had free time. I was listening to YouTube videos. I was doing, all kinds of stuff like that. Also, that brings me to my fourth point. Watch film. If you're going to be a successful athlete, right? Football, basketball, hockey, baseball, everything. They always tell you, watch film, watch film, watch film. That discipline is what separates the good, most skilled, most potentially talented players with the great players. Because the great players have all of those intangibles. However, they also watch film to know how to become better, what they are weak at, and what their opponents are good at. It's the same thing in journalism. You go find your favorite independent journalists and you watch them, but not only watch the things they say, study them. Study how people respond to the things they say in their comment sections. Study their setups. If they have a simple setup, how is it working for them? If they have a bigger setup, how is it working for them? Study their rhetoric. What is it that they're saying that is making their audience primarily conservative or primarily progressive? What is it that, turns their audience off to them? You're only going to get better at this if you understand everything that is involved in being a journalist and all of the unique perspectives that are given on a daily basis from the left and from the right. Find your favorite journalists, then find the journalists you dislike the most. Okay? You can find them and say, oh, I don't want to be like that guy or that woman, and figure out what about them you don't like so that you don't emulate it. But also, they may, even though you can find, believe it or not, if you go to somebody you don't like who is really popular, which unfortunately that's a really easy way to get popular on YouTube, is to be extremely controversial, not even necessarily truthful, but very controversial, which I don't recommend, because it's just karma comes back, I'll put it like that. But I find things that are useful in videos for people I don't like. I don't like Alex Jones, but actually every now and then he has somebody important come on that will reveal facts. And so I will watch Alex Jones from time to time. So it's fine, it's perfectly fine. But you have to study film. Just like in sports, just like if you're training at work, that's the only way you can become successful, is by studying your opponents and studying yourself. So definitely do that as well. And the final thing that I want to discuss is the, oh man, what's number 5? I totally forgot. Yeah, I know, I can't remember. Oh, be confident, be confident. I know it sounds simple, once again, but it's not. You have to speak as if your word is the last word. The difference between mainstream journalism and independent journalism is that the mainstream journalism well, I won't say inadvertently, because it's definitely, they do it on purpose, but they tend to try and passively become an authority on hot button issues. It is your job to actually and aggressively become an authority on hot button issues. Because the reason that you are being watched by a person is that they if they're going to subscribe to your channel, it's because they rely on you to give them a direction and a perspective that otherwise they may have not heard. For example, people come to my page that are Bernie Sanders supporters because I used to work for Bernie Sanders. And so my perspective is a little bit more unique than other people. That's my niche. I can speak from a personal experience. Some people who want to know the take on how a progressive veteran would view an issue in politics, they come to my channel for that because I am a progressive and I am a military veteran. Some people come to my channel for, legal analysis because of my history in the military and the legal history that I have in the military because I was a paralegal. And my friends are attorneys, really good friends of mine. So everybody has their niche, but you have to become an authority on it. And the only way that you can become an authority is by speaking confidently. Confidence. Even if you might be wrong, speak confidently. But also understand you can still, hey, I messed up. My bad, y'all. The facts came out, I read the fact a little bit differently than they actually were, and this is me retracting. It's perfectly fine. Everybody messes up. But if you have a question mark at the end of every sentence that you tell your audience, and they're probably not going to listen to you. They came to you because they had questions, not to be presented necessarily with more questions, especially questions of undershortening. So those are my 5 steps to becoming an independent journalist. I will do another video like this talking about how to thrive as an independent journalist, which is a whole different ball game. But first of all, before we do that, take your camera out, start shooting. That's all it takes. Now what it takes to be great, that's another video entirely. Thank you so much for watching Political Hacks. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more, even if you want some news. It's pretty cool too, I'm pretty good at that. And always remember, ladies and gentlemen, find your balance. Peace.